Most people walk through life with dreams in their hearts, but never see them come true. Not because they don't deserve them, but because they never dared to ask. They keep quiet, hoping somebody will notice, waiting for opportunities to knock, and praying that somehow things will change without ever opening their mouths. Let me tell you something. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't ask, you don't receive. But here's the bigger truth. Asking isn't just about words. It's about faith. It's about clarity. It's about preparation. It's about action. And it's about gratitude. When you combine all of these, asking becomes the key that unlocks doors you never thought could open. So today, we're breaking down what it really means to ask and it shall be given. I'm going to give you 6 powerful keys that will transform the way you think, the way you move, and the way you receive. Stay with me until the end, because once you understand how to truly ask, you'll realize you've been sitting on blessings that were waiting for you the whole time. The first keynote is closed mouths don't get fed, and it carries a truth many people overlook. Too often, people sit back quietly, waiting for life to hand them something they never even asked for. They expect opportunities to knock, blessings to fall from the sky, or people to somehow read their minds and deliver exactly what they want. But the truth is, if you don't open your mouth, if you don't make your needs, dreams, and goals known, you risk starving spiritually, emotionally, and even financially. The principle is simple. If you never ask, you'll never receive, because nobody owes you something they don't even know you desire. Think about how many chances are missed because someone stayed silent out of fear, pride, or doubt. People often convince themselves that asking is a sign of weakness, that it makes them look needy or vulnerable. But the opposite is true. Asking shows clarity. It shows clarity. It shows that you know what you want, and you're bold enough to declare it. Closed mouths don't get fed because silence communicates satisfaction. And if you act like you're fine with what you have, the world will assume you don't need more. Opportunities pass by people every day, not because they weren't available, but because someone was too scared to speak up and claim them. When you look at successful people, you'll find they didn't just sit and hope for things to fall into place. They asked for chances, they asked for partnerships, they asked for guidance, and they asked God for blessings. And every time they asked, they positioned themselves to receive. It doesn't mean every request will be answered, but every ask opens a door that would have stayed shut otherwise. The power isn't just in the answer, it's in the act of asking, because asking sets things in motion. Many people stay hungry not because there's no food on the table, but because they refuse to reach out their hands and say, "Pass me a plate." They let pride or fear of rejection keep them quiet, not realizing that rejection isn't the end, it's just redirection, and every brings you closer to a ways. If you never speak up, you deny yourself the chance to ever be fed. Your voice is your ticket, your request is your key, and your willingness to ask is what keeps blessings flowing your way. The second keynote is faith is the fool behind the ask, and it explains why asking alone is not enough. You can speak out loud what you want. You can even write it down, but if deep down you don't believe it's possible, then your words carry no power. Faith is what transforms an ask from empty words into a request that moves mountains. It's the invisible force that tells the universe, tells God, and tells yourself that you're not just hoping. Without faith, asking becomes nothing more than wishing. But with faith, asking becomes declaring. Faith is what gives your ask energy. It's like gasoline to a car. You can have the keys, you can know the destination. But if there's no fuel, you're not going anywhere. When you ask with faith, you ask with certainty, with confidence that what you need is already on its way. That confidence changes how you speak, how you think, and how you carry yourself. People can feel it, and more importantly, you can feel it. Faith doesn't beg, faith expects. Faith doesn't wonder if it will happen. Faith prepares like it already has. A lot of people cancel their own blessings because they ask for something, but doubt it the moment the words leave their mouth. They pray for an opportunity, but in their heart, they whisper, "It'll probably never happen for me." That doubt is like pulling the plug out of the wall. You cut the power before it ever has a chance to flow. Faith is refusing to let that doubt run the show. It's choosing to hold on to belief, even when nothing in your current situation suggests it's possible. When you ask with faith, you align your actions with your belief. You start preparing for what you've asked for as if it's already yours. If you ask for a new career, you polish your skills and get ready. If you ask for a better relationship, you work on yourself so you can show up fully. Faith without preparation isn't real faith, it's just empty words. But when you truly believe, you get yourself ready, and that readiness is proof of your expectation. Faith is what takes your ass from earth to heaven and back again. It's what makes the difference between a dream that stays in your head and a blessing that shows up in your life. Asking opens the door, but faith is what pushes it wide enough for you to walk through. The third keynote is be specific with your ask. And this is where so many people miss their blessing. A lot of folks ask for things in a vague, general way, and then they wonder why their results are small, scattered, or confusing. If you don't know exactly what you want, how do you expect to recognize it when it shows up? Being specific puts power in your request because it gives your mind, your actions, and even your prayers a clear target to hit. Vague requests bring vague results, but clarity brings clarity. Think about it like this. If you go to a restaurant and tell the waiter, just bring me something to eat, you have no idea what you're going to get. They might bring you a dish you don't even like, and technically you asked for food, so that's what you got. But if you say, I want the grilled salmon with vegetables on the side, there's no room for confusion. You're going to get exactly what you asked for. Life works the same way. The more precise you are about what you desire, the more focused your energy becomes, and the more opportunities line up with what you want. Specificity also shows seriousness. When you can clearly define what you're asking for, it proves that you've thought it through, that you're not just throwing random wishes into the air. If you say, I want to be successful, that's too broad. Success could mean anything from having enough to pay rent to becoming a billionaire. But if you say, I want to build a business that earns 6 figures a year, now your vision has definition, and your steps can align with it. Being specific also helps you measure progress. When you know exactly what you're asking for, you can see whether you're getting closer or further away from it. It helps you stay disciplined, because instead of chasing everything, you're focused on one clear thing. And when that thing arrives, there's no confusion. You'll know it's yours. Too many people live their whole lives asking in circles, saying things like, I just want to be happy. Happiness looks different for everyone. If you can't tell life what happiness looks like for you, don't be surprised when it hands you something you never wanted. Being specific is not about being picky. It's about being intentional. The clearer you are about your ask, the more powerful your results will be, because what you focus on is exactly what you attract. The fourth keynote is prepare for the blessing, and it reminds us that asking alone is not enough if you're not ready to handle what you're asking for. Too many people pray for bigger opportunities, greater success, or more responsibilities, but when those blessings finally come, they don't have the structure, the mindset, or the discipline to keep them. Preparation is the proof of expectation. If you truly believe that what you've asked for is on the way, then you should already be getting yourself in position to receive it. Otherwise, you risk losing it as quickly as it arrived. Imagine someone asking for financial abundance but never learning how to manage the little money they already have. If they're careless with small amounts, how will they handle large ones? Or someone asking for love and a healthy relationship, but they haven't healed from past hurts or learned how to communicate. The blessing could come, but without preparation, they'll sabotage it. Preparation is not about waiting idly. It's about actively building the capacity to carry what you're asking for. Preparation also stretches your faith. It's one thing to say you believe, but it's another to prepare like you already have it. If you ask for a new job, preparation looks like polishing your resume, upgrading your skills, and being ready for interviews. If you ask for a home, Preparation looks like fixing your credit, saving money, and learning about ownership. These steps might seem small, but they are physical demonstrations of your belief. They're signals to the world and to yourself that you're not just asking, you're expecting. When you prepare, you also send a message that you're serious. Life doesn't hand out major blessings to people who aren't ready. If you're not prepared, the opportunity might still come, but it will slip through your hands because you won't know what to do with it. On the other hand, when you've done the work, when you've created space for it, the blessing fits right into your life seamlessly. Preparation also keeps you humble and disciplined. It keeps you focused on growth rather than just the outcome. It builds patience because you understand that just because it hasn't come yet doesn't mean it isn't coming. In fact, every day you prepare, you strengthen your ability to hold on to the blessing once it arrives. Asking may open the door, but preparation is what allows you to walk through it and stay inside. The fifth key note is action must follow the ask. And this is where many people stop short. They think asking is enough. They believe speaking it into existence means it will just appear. But the truth is, asking is only the starting line, not the finish line. You can pray, you can visualize, you can declare all you want, but if you don't move your feet, if you don't put in the work, then nothing changes. Faith without works is dead, and an ask without action is just a wish floating in the air. Action is what proves you're serious about what you've asked for. When you ask for something, the next step is to align your behavior with that request. If you've asked for a healthier body, you can't sit back eating junk food all day and expect results. You've got to change your habits, commit to exercise, and respect the body you're in. If you've asked for financial growth, you can't keep spending recklessly and expect money to multiply. You need to budget, invest, and practice discipline. Your actions are the bridge between asking and receiving. Without that bridge, your blessing has no way to reach you. Action also creates momentum. Once you start moving, doors begin to open, opportunities begin to appear, and people begin to notice your effort. Action attracts energy, while inaction repels it. The universe, God, or however you view the higher power, responds to movement. Asking is like planting a seed, but action is like watering it every day until it grows. Without water, the seed dies, no matter how good the soil is. The beauty of action is that it doesn't have to be huge steps all at once. Sometimes it's about consistent small actions that build up over time. Every phone call made, every page studied, every workout completed, every dollar saved, they all add up and show that you're preparing to handle what you asked for. It's about persistence, even when you don't see immediate results, because your consistent action is proof of your belief. Too many people give up after asking because they think it's supposed to just fall in their lap. But the blessing you're asking for is often hidden inside the work you're avoiding. Action not only moves you closer to your blessing, it shapes you into the kind of person who can handle it once it arrives. Asking opens the door, but action is what walks you through it and keeps you there. The sixth keynote is gratitude opens more doors. And it's the piece most people overlook after they've asked and received. It's easy to focus so much on what you want next that you forget to appreciate what you already have. But gratitude is like a magnet. It attracts more of the good into your life. When you show appreciation for every blessing, big or small, you create space for more blessings to flow. On the other hand, when you overlook or complain about what you already have, you block yourself from receiving more. Gratitude is not just good manners. It's a spiritual law that multiplies whatever you value. Think about it this way: if you give someone a gift and they don't even say thank you, are you excited to give them another one? Probably not. But when someone lights up with joy, shows appreciation, and genuinely values what you gave, you feel motivated to bless them again. Life works the same way. When you're thankful for the little things, life delivers bigger things. If you dismiss small wins, you'll never get to see the big victories. Gratitude trains your heart to see abundance instead of lack, and that mindset shift keeps you open to receiving. Gratitude also changes your perspective during the waiting period. Sometimes what you asked for hasn't shown up yet, but instead of being bitter, Gratitude helps you notice what's already working in your favor. It keeps your spirit strong and your attitude positive, which makes the waiting process bearable. Gratitude doesn't deny that you want more. It simply says, I'm thankful for what I have while I'm on the way to what's next. That attitude not only lifts you up, but it also draws people toward you, because gratitude radiates joy. Nobody wants to be around someone who's always bitter, but everyone is drawn to a thankful spirit. Another powerful part of gratitude is that it makes you a better steward of what you have. When you're thankful for something, you take care of it, you respect it, you nurture it, and you maximize it. That stewardship prepares you for the next blessing, because if you can be faithful with little, you can be trusted with much. Gratitude is proof that you value the gift, and valuing the gift makes you ready for more. The doors of opportunity swing wider when you walk through life saying thank you, because nothing invites more blessings into your life faster than a grateful heart. So here's the truth. Asking is the beginning of everything. You can't stay silent and expect to be fed. You've got to open your mouth, speak your desires, and back them with unshakable faith. Be bold enough to ask specifically for what you want, then prepare yourself like it's already on the way. But don't stop there. Take action, because asking without effort is just wishing. And when those blessings show up, don't forget gratitude, because being thankful is what keeps the doors of abundance open. This isn't about luck. This is about principle. If you live by these 6 truths, you won't just ask and wait. You'll ask, believe, work, and receive. And once you step into that flow, you'll see opportunities, blessings, breakthroughs show up in ways you never imagined. So as you move forward, I want to wish you nothing but growth, clarity, and courage to ask big. Live bold and stay grateful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And may every single ask you make with faith and action turn into blessings that overflow in your life. Good luck, and keep moving toward everything you deserve.